rocks, and I'm going to try to do this video with my grandson running around. So anyways, my last video I had showed you the rocks, the banded iron, and some other rocks that I wanted to cut. I did cut some. The banded iron, when you cut that and when you tumble it, it makes a huge mess. So my rock cutter right now needs to be cleaned, so it might be a while before I get that cleaned and continue with my rock cutting. So I'm going to go over some of the rocks I've cut and a little bit of other stuff. Okay, so here we go. This is that piece of banded iron that I showed you in that one video that I said I was going to cut into a square. It's not really a square. And the sides of it were really sharp, so I took this file here to kind of file it down so that it wasn't so sharp. And here are some of the pieces I cut from it. These are obviously too big to put into my rock tumbler. So I'm thinking I'll probably just bring them with me in my trip and see if anybody wants any of them. And look at those different patterns, that pattern right there. And it's kind of fractured. Okay, I'm back. My grandson was playing with a noisy vehicle. I had to take it in the back room. And anyway, so let's continue on with the rocks that I cut. See some of the different patterns, like this one here. Let's see where it was cut off of. And you can kind of see where the banded iron was probably kind of shifted in the earth. See that fracture right there? And here's a piece that fell apart. Probably throw this into my tumbler, these small pieces, maybe even this bigger piece here. See what it looks like when it's done. And then I was talking about the those rocks that I got in Missouri when I was there in January visiting my mom. And here is the one that looked like, I don't know what it, I brought it to the Riverton Gem, Mineral and Gem Society yesterday, and they told me to bring it to Missouri and ask the Missouri rock hounds what it is. But I cut it in, I cut the bottom off right here. Whoops, and then I cut it in half, and then this piece fell apart. So I will bring it back to, I'm going to go back in March to visit my mom, hopefully, and sister and stuff. I'll bring these back with me and see if I can get them identified. This is the piece that I cut off from the bottom of it, or part of it. Here's another piece I cut off, the first piece. And some of these smaller pieces, I'll just throw them into my tumbler. Got a lot of tumbling to do. And then, so I took 3 of the rocks and cut them. This is one. So smaller pieces, I'll throw them in the tumbler and see how they tumble up. And some of these have some little itty bitty crystals in there. Probably. Now, the people yesterday at the gym, my fellow rock hounds, they thought they were pretty, and they would probably shine up real nice. Whatever they are, some type of chert maybe, I'm not sure, some kind of layered rock, sedimentary rock, but they are pretty. I have like 3 different colors, like a gray and a darker brown, and then a light gray, and then this one has a darker gray on it, and it even has some little crystals right there. And then that rock that I have talked about in a few videos that I found in my yard, which I haven't really found any banded iron, maybe some little pieces in my yard. I thought this was banded iron. I'm still not sure. And yeah, definitely jasper, which banded iron is layers of jasper and hematite and some other stuff. There is a lot of jasper in it, and I cut it up, and it's very pretty. I'll probably throw some of these smaller ones in the tumbler. So much tumbling to do. And I cut it with my little saw, and then I got, where I ran out, I had to move the rock back, and I cut this big chunk out. And some, and there is a fracture in there too. I think it's real pretty. A yard rock, this one fell apart, so I can probably put it in my tumbler. And then here's the last of it that didn't get cut. Real pretty rock, so I'm excited. Found that in my yard, our yard. And then here is that rock that I found, I think on the Red Desert coral trip. And I have some more of that, but I'll make a separate video after I get my rock cutter cleaned with new oil in it. And this is what's left, well, the piece that I cut off of. And here are some pieces that I cut. I think they're real pretty. I wonder if you could see it in the light. See how pretty that is? It's like peaches and stuff. It's like a peach color, I think. I think it's real pretty. Here's a piece of lysite agate I finished cutting. And I still want to get that machine where see if it can clean some of this stuff out of there. Make that much shinier and get some of that dirt out of those crevices. And I also took my file here and filed some of these sharp edges down too, so it doesn't cut. The last rock I cut was one of those black rocks from over there. And I'll cut, those are some of the rocks I have left to cut. We'll do a separate video like I said. And so I cut this rock. This rock is still in the rock cutter, but the oil was getting kind of low, and I did not want to put, I can't put new oil in there until I clean it out. And in my last video, if you could hear my tumbler tumbling, this is what was tumbling in it, which is, I tumbled it about a month. I'm going to start the next step, the third step, the pre-polishing today. And so this is just the second step, so these are going to look much nicer in the next couple of steps. Lots of agates, real pretty. So we'll do another video when these are done tumbling. Of course, I have my big tumbler out there tumbling stuff. That should be done in about a week or so. And for the first and second step. And so this is just the first step. So they are pretty, but they're going to be much prettier when they're completely done. And I will really show you. This is some of that like red moss agate. And then I put some of this green moss agate that you've seen, that had some breaks, and to retumble it so it can be rounded out again. So yesterday was our first meeting, was our meeting in February, which in February at the Riverton Mineral and Gem Society, they always have an auction. So I went to the auction yesterday. I got bid out on most everything. Okay, so like I was saying, yesterday was our meeting. And so I was bid out a bunch, but I did get a few things. I got this piece of snowflake jade. I got this rock. Nobody bid on it but me. I'm curious. I'm going to cut that in half and see what's in it. Maybe ugly, maybe beautiful. We'll see. And then I got this little packet of look like apple green jade. It's beautiful little pieces of apple green jade. And then one of our members has passed away, so there was a bunch of plats of his stuff being sold, and I got this one plat right here of a montage of stuff. And here, this is, I believe this is pieces of Wiggins fork, petrified wood. And I'll be throwing that into the tumbler. And I got this microscope from TikTok. They always show these microscopes of a coin microscope, but I wanted to get it for my rocks. I do collect coins too, but I get it for my rocks to kind of look at them. Turn on this light back here. And you can see that jade. It's really not that pretty. Anyways, this box that I got, it's got some pretty cool stuff. I think this is a piece of jade. Look at how beautiful that is. So you want to see that under the microscope. Let me put this down here under the microscope. Let me move that where it can be seen. Turn this here light up a little bit. I'm trying to get that into the there it is. Look at that. Look at the difference. I think that's a little piece of apple green jade. Just a little bitty piece, but isn't it gorgeous? Look at that. So I'll be using this microscope to be looking at a lot of my rocks underneath it. I'm so excited about that. And of course, my money. And so this is some of the stuff that I got in this box. I can't remember what they said this is. It's a rock. Can't remember what they said it was. It's not real, I mean, it's kind of cool, and it's been shined up. Real pretty. Here's another one. This looks like a little piece of blue forest, petrified wood with that chalcedony around it. And some little pieces. Some like bubble agate in there and some little crystals. I'm thinking if I get that, oh, it's that ultrasonic cleaning machine. Clean some of this up. Maybe put a magnet on the back for a refrigerator magnet. This is very lightweight. Maybe I'll cut that in half with my trim saw. Got some green stuff in there, but it's really light. A little piece of granite, or not granite, marble. Check that out and see how this company isn't even in existence anymore. A little piece of petrified wood. It could be a candidate for the tumbling machine, tumbler. And I know this is a little piece of that coral, horned coral, I think is what it's called. That. And I don't know if you can find this in Wyoming. I don't even know if this stuff is found in Wyoming. Some of this, I know this probably is this Wiggins fork. Oh, here's a really cool agate that was in there. Look at that with those dendrites on there. Throw that in the tumbler. it's got some green in there. I wonder what we'd see if we put it under the microscope. It looks like some kind of crystals. It's kind of cool. I have no idea what that is. And then look at these cool little, and I have no idea what these are, some type of agate. It's kind of dirty, needs to be cleaned. But look how cool that is. I have no idea if this is a Wyoming rock or what kind of rock it is. I think my grandson's gonna climb up here to see what I'm doing. Some other little rocks with some blue in it. Have no idea what it is. I think there's a name with this. Starts with a V. Some kind of like bluish rock you can find in Wyoming that I personally haven't found, but some little pieces. Go over this stuff a little slower so you can see it again. Of course, we'll do another video when this is all done. I think it's going to be really pretty. A little piece of coral. It's probably a yard rock. We find some of this stuff in our yard. I think we found this in our yard, I believe. Finally tumbling it. I haven't had a chance to cut this, like I said. I will do another video when I get some new oil and some of my other rocks over there. When I cut them, or before I cut them, will be my next video. So, let me know what you think. Do you like these? Are they pretty? You got any opinion? And of course, there's only 3 buckets of rocks I need to get tumbled. So, anyways, thanks again for watching. Hopefully there wasn't too much noise. Thanks for subscribing. And make sure you check out my raw opal on eBay. If you'd like some, I'll throw in some free stuff. It'll be a surprise. Okay, till next video, we'll see you then. Okay, bye-bye.